What's up, nerds?
Alright, we are back for the final piece of the Hoard of the Dragon Queen
Hot DQ.
DM's review guide thing.
Go.
Chapter 8, Episode 8.
Castle in the Clouds.
Castle in the Clouds. So, what happened?
Alright, so you leave the hunting lodge, you go down the road, you find the village of Parnast.
Parnast.
And this town... It was kind of been taken over by the cult, so there are people living in the town, but a lot of the town is cult-oriented. There are cultists pretending to be townsfolk. A lot of the businesses are run or at least influenced by the cult. Villagers don't want to talk to you because they're scared. I think there's one dude who will help you out. Goundalin the Wheelwright will be like, hey man, things are messed up. There is a pretty high up cult member named Captain Othelston, who is about.
Okay.
So yeah, you are kind of directed toward the Golden Tankard, which is the pub, and the bartender there has been bribed by the cult to try and like keep strangers occupied there. So he's very friendly. Fun fact, the Golden Tankard gets its name from a magic tankard that is on a shelf in the back of the pub. It's a tankard of plenty.
Just constantly fills with ale.
Yep. So, that's the thing. But there's no way for your party members to know that.
Or
and
end up trying to steal
Yeah,
it.
and if they try and steal it, that's bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, the castle is anchored to the town, like you can see it. There are several different ways that you can attempt to do this. If you just kind of storm the castle and try and fight, you're going to have to fight everything in the castle, which is a lot.
Yeah, and there's some tough stuff, too.
And the Captain Olafsen, 1 veteran, 6 guards, and 3 dragon claws with riding wyverns will be the reinforcements and attack you. Or you can wait and see, or not.
You can also find the password.
Yeah,
What's-her-face gave you the password.
Yeah, What's-her-face gave you the password. You can just walk in and be nice about it. You don't have to be a dick. There's also a stable with wyverns that you can actually ride.
Yeah. That's
how you guys got it. I think the castle took off.
Yeah, we waited a little bit for some reason.
So yeah, if the castle takes off while you guys are there, you gotta ride some wyverns to catch it, which is cool. It's a DC 10 handle animal check.
Yep. We technically actually still have those.
What do you mean technically still have them?
In our game, we never put them back.
Well,
we just took them with us.
But they're not with you now.
Well, why wouldn't they be?
Because at no point were you like, oh yeah, our wyverns are here.
I mean, that's besides the point.
That is the point!
No, I mean, we flew from the castle.
Yeah.
And we were flying all over the place, greenest back and forth after the fact.
Yes.
And then what happened to the wyverns?
You guys stopped being on top of wyverns.
I don't know about that.
You were like, alright, so we get on our horses and ride, and that's what you did.
I feel like that, whatever, it doesn't matter. We have them still.
They're about. You're not on them.
No, well, we can go get them.
From where?
The greenest.
They're not at the greenest.
That's Stormville.
They're at Waterdeep.
They're at Stormville, because we built this table.
It's Zookville.
Zookville.
First off.
Zookville.
And they're at Waterdeep.
Yeah. I don't think so.
So yeah, go to the castle.
Yeah, and then this is... It could be... I mean, we talked about lethality throughout most of this.
Oh dear.
This could be... I mean, you're higher level at this point, but this could be really bad.
In the very beginning, it gives you a rundown of all like the big bads here. There is Blagothkus, a cloud giant, 2 storm giants, Rezimir, 2 red wizards of Thay, a vampire, and an adult white dragon.
Yeah.
Those are all the things that are in here. The part that you can use to your advantage as a party is they all don't really like each other. Yeah. The vampire, I don't even know why she's here. She's just chilling to be a vampire. She just
said she's been with the Cult of the Dragon for a long time or something.
I think, and I might be making this up, but I don't want to be.
Okay.
That she's old school Cult of the Dragon. Like back when the Cult of the Dragon was trying to raise Dracoliches. That's like her...
Yeah. I think you remember.
That's her thing. So she's part of the Cult of the Dragon. She's following their orders, but she's not 100% on board. This isn't what the Cult of the Dragon started off being about. The Cult and the Red Wizards have a shaky alliance that you will find out about later in the game, where basically the Red Wizards of Thay are subjugated by a Lich. And they think that if they help rise Tiamat, the Tiamat will give them the strength to overthrow the Lich in Thay and be able to, not that.
Right.
And the Cloud Giant is kind of the most messed up of... Not messed up, but like...
Yeah, a little bit.
So, he thinks that giants should rule the world. Mm-hmm. And he thinks that they become too complacent in not ruling the world. So he's helping raise Tiamat because he thinks that if the dragons were about to take over the world, that would stir the giants to actually fight. So he really just wants an enemy strong enough to inspire giants to ally and fight, and then take over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So therein lies your... where your party can actually do some smart negotiating and not have to fight everything I just mentioned.
Yeah, he doesn't like that there's a dragon living on this castle.
Yeah. So the castle has several different levels. There's upper courtyard, lower courtyard, and the vault. In the vault, there are like tunnels where the Hoard is. Lower courtyard is more, in general, cultist stuff, like the cultist barracks.
Mm-hmm.
And the in Rezimir and the Red Wizards are all in the lower courtyard, and the upper courtyard is more giant associated stuff.
Ogres too, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah. So there are two turrets, or not turrets. There are two towers above the main gate. Each of them have ballistas on them, and as long as you say the passcode, they just let you on.
Right.
Which you learned in the last chapter. Yeah. It's pretty straightforward at this point.
Worth mentioning that if you attack at night, the vampire is watching guard.
Yes.
So probably beneficial to attack during the day.
If not, it's 3 ogres, but I would rather fight 3 ogres than 1 vampire.
Exactly.
So there's that. Now you'll actually get to fight Rezimir, who is the Black Worm Speaker, and has the Black Dragon Mask. Now one thing that you can't know before you get in there as party members is the Black Dragon Mask is in a chest, and if you kill Rezimir, the contents of the chest magically get teleported back to the Well of Dragons where Tiamat is actually going to rise.
Right.
So your best bet is to knock out Rezimir, get the Black Dragon Mask because it's actually really sweet, and Rezimir has an awesome magic sword that you get after you defeat her.
Yeah, it's a ridiculously powerful magical greatsword.
Yeah.
So in our situation, I smooth talked over the giant, and he basically decided to help us. We decided we had to go stop Rezimir, and in our game we were looking for somebody, and he said his and his ogres were gonna kind of take out most of the cultists and work for against the vampire and stuff, and then he decided that as long as we got rid of the dragon, he would be happy with that, and he would help us fight the dragon if need be, and we could keep any of the magic items, just not the gold.
Yeah.
He wanted the gold.
That's how I played it.
So, we went to go fight Rezimir, and why don't you talk a little bit about how that went down in our game?
Okay, well, yeah. So Rezimir, one of his servants was, in our game, one of his servants was a family member of one of our party members. So he was trying to rescue his nephew Kyle. So they storm into the room with Rezimir, and they're like, "Where's Kyle?" And Rezimir was like, "He's across the hall." And they're like, "Okay." So bye? I don't know. Like, what do we do?
No, she was like...
Yeah.
And we're like, why you gotta be like that?
Oh yeah, she was shooing.
She was like, bring it,
I'm
ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Because she has the rug of smothering on the floor.
Oh yeah, there's a rug of smothering on the floor.
Which I like taste. So she was like trying to call us all over to it, and we're like, oh, we're just here for Kyle. Like, why you gotta be so combative? And we're like, how are you? And she's like, I've been better. Like, we ended up, like, endearing ourselves to the villain.
Yeah.
And, like, things calmed down.
They did, until they didn't.
Right. And then we had, like, a nice back and forth, and several of us were on the fence of joining, myself not included.
No.
I mean, I would have joined for my own purposes to get what I needed to get, but I would not have joined the Cult of the Dragon, like, 100%. But, like, some of our party was definitely, like, on board, like...
To join the Cult of the
Yeah,
Dragon.
we'll do it, sure. Praise be.
Damn it.
But why don't you talk about what was the downfall of that agreement?
They were trying to... the party members are really greedy, so they're like, what does this pay? And at that point, Rezimir's like, all the treasure goes to Tiamat, praise be. And they're like, well, we're going to put ourselves in danger, we don't even get treasure? It's like, no, what? Why would you get the treasure? The treasure's for Tiamat. I really think you guys should leave. You're just not cult material. And then they were like, whoa, why you gotta be like that? We were just talking. It was like, yeah, I get it, but like, negotiation's over. You're not cult material. Please leave.
It was like, you can take Kyle and leave.
Yeah, you take Kyle and leave, but just go. And they were like, well, I think you're being kind of hasty. Well, you can leave. I don't think we should have to leave. Please leave my home. I don't know why you're being like that. All right, cool. And then there was battle.
Yeah.
And then battle happened. And they're still upset about it. I asked you to leave like 4 times. And I'm evil.
She, some of the criticism for that, I believe, was not... There definitely was asked for payment, for sure.
Yeah.
But one of the questions I know was like, well, what about, like, equipment? Can we get equipment, magic items to better help us serve the Cult of the Dragon? And she was not for that either.
No! The magic... that's treasure. That goes to Tiamat.
I don't know. They're like, well, what about you? How come you got this great sword?
Because I'm a Black Worm speaker. And I'm in charge. And the rest of the treasure goes to Tiamat.
Yeah, so this is pretty much how that went down. And we slaughtered her.
Yeah, like real bad.
Like, it wasn't a joke.
So yeah, there's that. Across the way is a room with 2 members, 2 red wizards, and they're pretty powerful magic users.
Yeah.
So if you can avoid fighting them both simultaneously, do it. Another thing to keep in mind is their room is right across from Rezimir, and like we said, Rezimir has an awesome sword.
Yeah.
So fighting the 3 of them could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
If you had to. A lot of the rooms in the lower courtyard have not illusion walls. Oh, I forgot.
Tapestries?
No, not tapestries. I'm being stupid. Vanishing Walls of Ice. Where you just put your hand on it and the wall of ice vanishes. And then, so some of the red wizards, if they're about to lose, they go to the wall, make it disappear, and then fly away because they're magic and can fly.
Yeah, I think one of them escaped.
One of them escaped.
But the other one died.
The other one died.
It was just a smush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Killed by ogres.
So there's that. Then when you get up to the upper courtyard, there's a lot of kind of weird stuff. There's a crumbly tower, and the castle is held up by the spirit of Blagothuscus. I'm going to call it, from the Storm Giant's dead wife.
Yeah.
Her spirit keeps the castle aloft, so there is the room, at some point in the upper courtyard, there's the room where where her tomb is,
yeah.
And then there's a control room where if you get into the control room, there are runes, and you can actually try and fly the castle. The one hard thing to do is to get in to the room because so it can be opened by a giant or by the knock spell or by a DC 70 strength check. I did not misspeak. 7-0 is the strength check to break down that door. So it's hard to get into. They didn't get anywhere near it.
We didn't even try.
They didn't have to.
No, and I mean the biggest thing in there is the control panel is worth like a ton of gold because of all the gems in the control panel.
Yeah. But again, if you destroy the control panel,
Then
I think
the
the castle crashes.
Yeah, it falls
out of the sky.
But
so.
it's 10,000 gold in gems.
Yeah. and large pieces of mithril.
Mm. So then let's keep going. Let's talk about the dragon because that's like the big piece.
So then you get to the main vault in the bottom, and you fight the dragon. The thing to keep in mind here is that so there's the vault, which is a pretty big room, and the dragon's lair, which is pretty big. But other than that, it's just kind of tunnels where the dragon is very limited.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can fight it in its realm, and it fights pretty normally. It might have. I don't even think this is considered its lair.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So yeah, you can actually go down and talk to the dragon without him attacking because it's a dragon. It doesn't see you kind of as a threat.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually you fight it, and if you fight it before taking out the rest of the people, it shouts to the castle at large, they're after the treasure, at which point pretty much everyone hates you. Because no one wants you to take the treasure. So it doesn't say it outright, but at that point it's easy to assume that all of the castle's inhabitants would come after you at the same time, which is pretty much a death sentence. But yeah, so you can catch it in if you can catch it in one of the tunnels, it's pretty easy to take down.
That's actually what we ended up doing because it was beneficial. We waited outside, and some of the spell slingers shot spells down the tunnel, and we had the storm giant there with us ready to attack it as soon as it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up killing it before
you didn't even have
it just got out of the cave, and we killed it before he got to go.
Yeah.
So that worked out well for us. What was in the Hoard? Why don't you talk about the rewards?
The rewards. Some of the treasure is frozen into the walls, so you have to melt it with some bonfires and some fire spells and stuff like that. But in total, it is 500,000 copper pieces, 100,000 silver pieces, 5,000 gold pieces, a chest containing 800 platinum pieces, 21 small blue sapphires worth 300 gold each, and a potion of gaseous form, a +1 longsword, a +1 longbow, a +1 leather armor, and bracers of defense.
It's a fair amount of stuff.
Yeah, so I think you guys got the magic items and the chest.
Yeah.
And the giant kept everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's pretty much the end of the adventure. Completing that.
Yep.
That's it, really.
Close the book.
I
I will give you a little more details on the magic sword.
Yeah.
I think it's called Hazaran.
Something like that.
Marzipan.
Marzipan
the sword. We call it Harry.
Yeah.
Haziran.
Oh.
It is a legendary greatsword. +1 to attack and damage rolls. And if you and an extra d6 necrotic damage. If you attune, that's just regular. If you attune to the sword, it's +2 to hit and to damage, and does an extra 2d6 necrotic. It can cast spells. It has 4 charges a day. Can cast Detect Magic, Detect Good and Evil, and Detect Thoughts. And while you are attuned to the sword, whenever you hit a creature with it, they have to take a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. And if they fail, it can't regain hit points for a minute.
Yep. That's 2d6 extra damage. That's on top of the 2d6 damage that a greatsword normally does.
Yeah.
So it's a 46 greatsword.
Yep.
It's pretty solid.
And if you have the weapon, the fighting style...
Yeah, 2 weapon fires.
2 weapons. Great weapon fighting?
That's, yeah. I don't
Heavy
know.
weapon fighting?
Whatever
that attack one, yeah, that one. You can re-roll any 1s or 2s on damage rolls with 2-handed weapons. So that's, 46 re-rolling any 1s and 2s.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just admit this video will probably be a little bit longer, but what do you want to say about the book as a whole? As far as, I don't know, what would you change?
It seems kind of rushed. whereas in like typos and stuff like that.
It did seem like it came out pretty quick, yeah.
I think that I find it weird that they threw in traps that didn't have any saves. Like if you do this, you're trapped. That's it.
Yeah.
Where I feel like almost every trap has a save, like a reflex or dex save or a con save or something. And it seemed to give you like by episode 4, I think it stopped giving you bonus experience for doing things.
Yeah, it just phased it out, which again I'm not convinced that all of those would have gotten the level you needed to if you had switched and kept it as the experience model.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you think about it, on the road again, there was 300 per event, maximum of 12. So let's say you only did 10 of them. That's 3,000 experience. That's not going to get you from 3 to 4.
Well, it's 3,000. Yeah, 3,000 experience then divided by the party.
Yeah.
So
it's not getting you from 3 to 4.
No. Yeah. It'll be when we finish Rise of Tiamat. We'll do another review on that, and that is milestone only.
Yeah.
And we will be live playing through Elemental Evil, and that is experience based only. So we're gonna get to see both ends of the spectrum and see which one we like better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how much, other than the things we talked about, I don't think there's anything overall that I would change. I would like more dragon interaction.
That's fair. I mean, you don't fight a dragon until the very last battle.
And, I mean, that is a adult black dragon?
Yeah.
Or adult white dragon?
Adult white dragon.
And just flipping to the book here, let's look up a white dragon. There are also, there's young dragons as well. And there are wormling dragons. Now, a wormling dragon is a challenge rating 2. I'm looking at a white one. But its breath weapon does 5d8 damage. That's pretty solid. An adult white dragon is a challenge rating 13. But a young white dragon is a challenge rating 6. Like, breath weapon does 10d8, so it's solid. But, like, why not throw a young dragon at us around level 4?
Maybe Castle Nyanya.
Yeah, maybe it's guarded by a young black dragon that is in Rezimir's charge or something like that. I just feel like one dragon, and I mean even Rise of Tiamat so far, you don't face too many.
What are you talking about? You face like 4.
Yeah, but I mean like you're becoming a more of a threat and you're gonna take down the Queen of Dragons and only 4 dragons? I feel like I feel like it should be like I mean I realize that they're somewhat rare, but I feel like there should be more, in my mind. Especially I mean you're trying to set this one up, you got 1 dragon. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like,
it's 4 times as many dragons.
It's true. But, I mean, some of them you technically don't even have to fight.
No.
Like,
5? Was there 5?
Fought a white one. We fought...
White one, a green one, a blue one, a black one.
Yeah, 4.
And a red one?
No. We haven't fought a red one.
Alright.
The red one was just from Brian's backstory.
Okay.
But, you know what I mean? Like, there's been a lot of stuff going on, and I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be an ancient dragon, but it could be, like, 2 young dragons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then, at the same point... Actually, not... Yeah, I feel like they're trying to throw in more varied stuff rather than more dragons. Like, they added in Yugoloths or whatever, and bearded devils and all this other stuff. We should stop talking about the next one.
Fair enough. But anyway, I just would have liked to have seen more dragons.
Fair.
Or like, maybe make up a stat for like a kobold general. Like something a little tougher than just a winged kobold. Like something, or, I mean, the lizard folk were cool, but they were on your side. So you're like really limiting the reptilian stuff that you could fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, other than the rush stuff and the book contradicting itself one way or another, like, it's all about fight, 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 fight. Now it's about stealth. Fight, fight, fight. Now it's about diplomacy. Like, I get that, but, like, maybe vary it a little bit.
Yeah.
And, again, other than the times where, like, you're led to believe one thing for a whole huge section of the game, and now you're just supposed to believe the opposite, and why would you?
It felt like there were 7 dudes, and each of them were handed a chapter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it didn't feel like it was... I don't know if that was on purpose, if they were like, hey, let's make each chapter really different so you get a full... well-rounded experience by the end, rather than having each chapter be kind of like a well-rounded mix of stealth, diplomacy, fighting, bartering,
Sure.
semantics.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun, but I feel like the only reason, like, I had a lot of fun just because of the group that it was with, but, like I said, non-rolled stats, new players, and, you know, poorly optimized parties will not survive this.
I also gave out a lot of... Everyone got extra magic items.
Yeah.
Like, at least 1, maybe 2 extra magic items, just because felt like it.
Yeah, and it's... And, I mean, I think it also depends, like, you could play this with 4 people, but I think you could also play it with 6 people and not change the amount of enemies you fight, and you'd still be in for a rough game.
Yeah, very possible.
So, yeah, I would not recommend less than 4 players.
No.
Or don't start them at level 1. Because it could be... I mean, we lucked out in a lot of situations, but just hearing from what we've told you, it could be very dangerous. I would recommend more Lost Mines of Phandelver for your starter campaign. It comes with the starter set, and it's appropriate, and it does have a varied amount of stuff, and it is more mellow and less brutal. And, like, you know, you make a couple of mistakes in here, it's game over.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
Don't rip off people's arms. Never ends well.
Take that message, Internet.
Take that to the bank. Cash it for money.